force. There was a 14-day ultimatum given. I don't know, we're on day what.
On day 10.
But how do you, in your view, Joyce, how will this shape the coming days?
So I'll speak into what Raila Odinga has asked for. He's asked for dialogue in terms of the IEBC. And my question is, how do you have a dialogue within a process that is guided by law? Because in 2010, Raila was part of he was part of the team that came up with the law as to how to select the IEBC commissioners. So I'm wondering, why are you asking for dialogue right now, yet you are part of the process in 2010, and you came up with a process whereby you involve the Public Service Commission, the Parliamentary Service Commission, the Law Society of Kenya, and the other actors in the process. And that process has been duly followed, whereby all the 5 bodies have brought forth a member to the selection committee, whereby now the president has now appointed the selection committee. I'm seeing that everything is actually falling into place in accordance to the law. So in terms of them now doing the maandamano to State House, in my view, I think the farthest they will reach is Serena, to be honest. The farthest they will reach is Serena.
Vivian is laughing. Vivian, what do you make of Joyce's remarks? So this is a process that is defined in law. So this bipartisan task force, inaingilia wapi?
Yes, it is a process that's guided by law, but there needs to be, it needs to see the process, and even the conclusion needs to seem like it's just and fair and inclusive. Remember, there were some changes that were proposed through Bunge that changed some of these recommendations before and reduced like the number of...
From the Parliamentary Service Commission?
Yes.
Although that was informed by, in my understanding, by a court judgment on the same.
Anyway, the process kind of changed somewhere along the way. But even not speaking to the process, speaking to the last 2 elections, there's been a lack of, okay, let me not say a complete lack of confidence. By a section of Kenyans, there are Kenyans who are not confident that the IEBC, as it was constituted, was fair. So it was important that the process that's put in place to select the new commissioners should appear or seem or be perceived as, you know, a fair and inclusive process. The thing is, if you, going by how it is right now, I think it's LSK, the Interreligious Council, Public Service Commission, Parliamentary Service Commission that are, I think I've left out one, and party liaison.
Party, okay, yeah. So there's Interreligious Council,
yes,
Law Society of Kenya, PSC, and yeah, the party liaison.
So,
yeah.
so the reason the Azimio party leader is probably asking for dialogue is because when you look at it from a political perspective, all these institutions it's possible to manipulate who they select so that they are aligned maybe to to the government side, so to speak. Because if the person Public Service Commission is speaking will definitely be aligned to Kenya Kwanza. Law Society, it's also possible to manipulate and make sure that whoever is being picked is aligned. So if, in essence, when you look at these people, the numbers, it's about like 5 of them. It's very possible to have 5 people aligned to the government side. How does that make it, you know, a fair process? So I think when Raila Odinga was asking for dialogue, it was just so that to see, can we have something more inclusive, not to go against the law, not to disregard the law, but to see how even within the law, we can have a more inclusive process that people feel we are involved, our voices have been heard. Because at the end of the day, he represents the interests and views of very, very many Kenyans. I mean, you can choose to disregard if you don't want, but the truth is he does. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to get, you know, over 5-6 million, you know, votes in an election.